Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I've ever seen a Ram HD make it to the dealership this fast when it's the next model year. Normally they get here in that year, but that tells me something. We could be potentially getting a new truck for 2028. So I'm just speculating here, obviously, but hopefully that means new cabs, new beds coming really soon. Now, do you guys notice anything different on this Black Express? Well, if you don't, I'm going to show it to you here, but I did borrow this truck from Larry H. Miller, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah. This truck is available for sale. I'm actually going to be doing a video on that ceramic gray one right there next. That has a Cummins in it, so be sure to subscribe to the channel. At the very top is the description. Base price is $53,925, and then this is a short listing of the standard features. Starting off the options is that customer preferred package, which is the Black Express, and that's $25.95, and you guys see what comes a part of it. Now, bed convenience group is $5.95, tradesman level 1 equipment group is $18.95, so you get the 12-inch display, which is a no-brainer, and dual climate control. You have all-weather mats, clearance lights, rear wheelhouse liners, transfer case, skid plate. Destination is still $27.95 for a total price of $62,735. Now, I know some of you guys are going to say this truck is way too expensive, blah, blah, blah. This truck is not expensive at all. This is a really good deal. When was the last time you were able to get a truck like this with premium lights, painted bumpers, 20-inch wheels, sport performance hood, adaptive cruise control, front parking sensors? Please tell me, I'll wait. If you go back 3 years, it was really hard to get LED headlights on a tradesman unless you ordered it, and even still, you probably would be more expensive than this truck with all these upgrades. So I'm sorry, this is a good deal, and it's the best deal probably on the market today, because after incentives and things like that, discounts, you probably can get this truck for under $55,000, and these trucks are hard to find. Black Express, Warlock, I've only done a couple videos on them because they're hard to find. So what is different about this truck from 2025 is right here, symbol of protest, and they updated the badge, so now it has a blackout look. In the past it was more bright, so that's the new touch to it. Now the half tons are gonna have the same thing on the blackout trucks too. Now on this side, by the way, you see those recovery hooks, right? You guys see that solid front axle? You have a plastic liner in here. And then here's a quick peek at these tires, which are the Firestone Transforce. Now these are the AT2s, so I don't have an opinion on how long these are gonna last, but the regular ones from the 2024 and earlier, they wore out pretty quickly. LT 285 60/20 is the tire size, which is basically 33.5 inches tall, 11.2 inches wide. So these are pretty decent tires, I would say. 3,640 pounds of capacity at 80 PSI. And here's a side view. No smart key system, you have fixed running boards. This is a great starter truck if you're moving up from a half ton, in my opinion. I think for what you're getting on this package, it's really good. And the HEMI, it still packs a punch too. You guys see here, you have your utility lights there, turn signals, and you have backup lights, top and bottom, mirrors heated, and power. You can't even get that on that $110,000 Ford truck you guys love. Also, 6'4" bed. You can get the long bed, I believe, with the Black Express. 31-gallon fuel tank is laughable, I will say. And you can use up the E15 with the HEMI. I didn't know that. Multi-link suspension. Also, incandescent tail lights. You have to move to a Laramie to get LED. Rear parking sensors, LED license plate lights right there. 4 and 7 pin for your trailer. I like the blackout. Also, there's a light here for if you're hooking up your trailer, which that's a class 5 hitch. This is not assisted, but you have spray in, 400 watts of power, and bed lights. Also, defrost with a power sliding glass. No LED lights at the top though. Now, because this is a gas engine, you have a 373 or a 410 option for that rear axle. Anti-spin is, I believe, available on these trucks. It didn't come standard. You normally get that standard with the diesel. There's your spare tire. And let's go ahead and pop the hood. The 6.4 liter HEMI is definitely a decent engine. It tows well, it has decent performance. However, there are things on this engine that are lacking. I do have to drive this truck because I did not see MDS on there. Now, 405 horsepower, 429 pound-feet of torque, all that power goes through a reliable 8-speed transmission. It was the 8HP75 made by ZF. This truck does have EGR, and as I said, I have to drive it because it doesn't say MDS on the window sticker, although that doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't have MDS. So we'll see here in a second. Now, if you are concerned about cam and lifter issues that some of these engines have seen in the past, I do have an oil in the description on my website. If you want, I highly recommend running the 0W40 because the Lorenzo oil does create a barrier between the metals, especially on those cold starts in those wintertime months or when your truck sits for a while. That way you don't get wear and tear on the engine because it creates a sacrificial layer on the metal. So check that out, and I highly recommend their oil bypass through Insane Diesel. Again, that's on my website. So let's go ahead and check out the interior. As far as the interior goes, you know that this is a tradesman once you step in here. But that's not a bad thing because I would say that the tradesman interior is probably my favorite in the entire HD segment. No one has a better interior design. If you want to add cat skin leather to these seats, literally you can pick a two-tone. It will look good in here because most of the interior is black. And you probably could have a company give you a custom accent on the door cards too. But you have power windows, door locks, you have power folding mirrors. When have you seen these things on tradesmen? Maybe they should go back to roll up windows and smaller or no screens to try to save money. But I think you guys are probably noticing that a lot of these features are coming standard because it costs less to produce different controls basically, right? So you get all the niceties on these tradesmen at the expense of a little bit higher price. Out back, no seat back pockets, no center armrest, no 60/40 bench. Come on, Ram, you're the only one in the segment, for the work trucks that don't offer that. But yeah, I don't like not having a 60/40 bench. That is a big issue for me because sometimes I do put one side up because if we go grocery shopping in my truck, it's just nice to be able to still have two seats for my kids. On the passenger side, not much to look at. Open storage. And man, where's my papers at? I've been seeing them get delivered without that because that is nice to show you guys because of the bed camper rating. So hopefully I'll find some more trucks in the future with it. Right here, you guys see USB, 3 cup holders. They don't give you the storage down here on the tradesman, which is kind of silly. Let's hop over to the driver's seat. Push button starts right there. And as far as the key goes, let me just show it to you real quickly. There's no remote start, which is kind of silly. I would say at this price point, they should just go ahead and include that with this Black Express. But backup camera, I would like to see 360 come a part of this package too. I'm just being picky now because you can get it on the Fords and they should just do the same thing because Ford is definitely at the top of the list too with the STX package. No vanity, you have incandescent light bulbs, but you do have an auto dimming mirror. I like that they give you this 12-volt power plug up here, a little bit of storage, and they still give a lot of USBs. Four-wheel drive systems right there, adaptive cruise control, gear limiter, and if you want to control this little 3-inch screen, that is very possible to do. Here's your fuel economy. Oh my gosh, why is the tire pressure so high on these trucks? Jeez, I wonder if they're getting delivered that way. That is just wow. There's your oil pressure. And then they give you this gauge summary right there. Engine idle hours. So I don't want to idle this too long because there's 0. When I see 0, I don't like to idle them. So let's see, one last thing. I'm gonna go ahead and just start moving. You turn on the auto dimming mirror. They still give you off-road pages on this beast. So you can see I like showing this. See, now that I've lived in Utah for so long, the altitude is very important to me. When we go to like Las Vegas, you drop down like 2,000 feet. Although to get there, you have to go up almost to like 5,000 feet because you have to climb through some grades. But yeah, we're gonna go for a quick drive. I wanna see if this truck has MDS. This is probably the roughest Ram I've ever driven, simply because of the tire pressure. Do not leave the dealership with your tire pressure this high. I don't know why they set it that high, or maybe they didn't. Maybe they come from the factory that way. I don't know. So let's see here. Oh my gosh. It has not come up yet. That's good news. Is it possible that they took away MDS? It's very possible. Well, we're gonna get on the highway here, but so far, so good. I looked down for a second. I gave it like maybe 10% throttle, and it does still have cylinder deactivation, guys. I know it does because I know that feeling it has, but I have not seen the green eco button come up. That's what I was waiting for. Let me see if it comes up here. Or maybe I looked down too slow, but here we go. I'm gonna let it coast here. Let's see what gear we're in. I like that they show you what gear you're in. You can lock it in. So we're in 8th gear. Oh, actually, no, I can't do that. If I do that, then it won't show me MDS. So here. I know it has it because, oh, there it is. Yep, I knew it. Like when you give it a little bit of throttle very lightly, you can feel it go out of that activation of the cylinder. I hate it. So yes, unfortunately, the HEMI still has it. Let's go ahead and check out the Payload. Truck ride's great. It's just rough because of the tire pressure. The gross axle weight rating out front is going to be 5,500 pounds. The rear is 6,000 pounds. 10,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. And wheels are 20 by 8 wide. You will have a Payload upgrade package for this truck, by the way, for 2027. You guys see right there, 3,083 pounds of payload capacity. Now, this is a little shocking. They're showing 65 PSI for the front tires, 70 for the rear. I'm not sure why they had that at 70. Normally it's 65, but they did increase the tire pressure slightly, maybe because of the payload capacity this truck has. 3,000 pounds is a lot of payload, you know, for a gas pickup. But you guys see the towing numbers here. This is a nice truck. I'm sorry, you guys keep crying about price. This is a great deal, right? You can't even get a half ton sometimes in the Bighorn trim levels for less than this. So I don't want to hear it. This is a good deal. Later.